but all I wanted was a kiss.
A kiss.
Just one last kiss.
The Mask, 1994. 20 weird facts you didn't know. Before the era of endless superhero blockbusters and multi-billion-dollar franchises, there was a movie that hurled cartoon logic right into live-action mayhem. A film that didn't just break the mold, it shredded it, stomped on it, and twirled it around with a wild, irrepressible grin. This is the story of The Mask, a 1994 sensation that turned Tex Avery-inspired lunacy into box office gold, propelled Jim Carrey to global superstardom, and changed the course of comedy and comic book adaptations in Hollywood. But beneath the green face, the swirling chaos, and the signature yellow zoot suit lies a tale even stranger than the film itself. A story of violent comic book origins, last-minute casting miracles, revolutionary effects, and cultural impact that can still be felt today. From pitch-black pages to pop cartoon pandemonium, it started with blood. The original Mask wasn't meant for the Saturday morning crowd. Deep in the annals of independent comics, the Mask first appeared as a horror icon, a faceless, merciless catalyst of carnage. In Dark Horse's pages, whoever donned the artifact was doomed, twisted into a raging, unstoppable force with a penchant for ultraviolence that would make Freddy Krueger blush. Early film scripts tried to capture that darkness, weaving tales splattered with gore and monsters. One infamous draft even threw in zombie teenagers and grisly deaths that would have felt right at home in Evil Dead. But then came Chuck Russell, director, visionary, and cartoon fan. He took one look at the carnage and saw a different path. Tossing aside the slasher ambitions, Russell envisioned a reality where Looney Tunes logic ruled, a fever dream city where rules bent, physics broke, and chaos reigned. Goodbye horror. Hello animated insanity, live and unfiltered. Writing against the odds and the clock. Screenwriter Mike Werb was handed the wheel, and he floored it. Hollywood is notorious for chewing on scripts for years, but The Mask screenplay roared to life in just 6 weeks. A blitz of screwball romance, surreal logic, and set pieces that defied filmmaking norms. Even crazier? New Line Cinema didn't balk at the wild concept. They said yes before their soon-to-be leading man became a household name, betting on outlandish gags and a tidy budget. Against the drag of development hell, The Mask rocketed from page to greenlight in record time, a testament to the kind of frenzied energy that would define the film, casting the unpredictable and the birth of comedy legends. In the early 90s, Jim Carrey was best known as that rubber-faced guy on In Living Color. He had momentum, sure, but nowhere near leading man status. Studio execs pushed for safe bets, but Russell saw a star. He glimpsed early cuts of Ace Ventura: Pet Detective and recognized something. Carrey didn't act. He animated. His body contorted in ways that needed no special effects. So before cinemas even unleashed Ace Ventura, Carrey was locked in, at a bargain price that would soon seem laughable. Weeks later, Pet Detective exploded, sending Carrey's value through the roof. Next up, Cameron Diaz. Try to picture a world where the role went to a different bombshell, Nicole Smith, perhaps. That was the studio's preference. But Diaz, then a 21-year-old model with 0 screen credits, showed something more than starlet looks. Presence. She nabbed the role a mere week before shooting began. No screen test, no rehearsal. The result? An entrance that redefined Star is Born. Chaos in the details and pure creative energy. The screenplay was merely a blueprint. Carrey took the helm, improvising much of what would become iconic. "Somebody Stop Me" ad-lib. The rat-a-tat rhythm, the elastic violence, the surreal bursts of energy, all shaped in the moment. Even the costume held a secret. Carrey's mother famously sewed him a yellow suit for his first stand-up gigs, the same audacious hue that would coat Stanley Ipkiss's alter ego. The look wasn't costume design. It was autobiography. Director Chuck Russell encouraged this improvisational spirit, knowing that Carrey's natural instincts often surpassed what could be written on paper. The set became a laboratory of comedy, where every take brought new possibilities. Special effects innovation meets pure anarchy. The special effects weren't made to replace reality, only to augment Carrey's natural cartoonishness. At Industrial Light and Magic, animators quickly realized their top-tier CG was often less convincing than Carrey's own ability to twist his face, tower his lips, and hammer home the gags. The legendary mask teeth, first meant as a non-speaking prop, became a signature thanks to Carrey's relentless rehearsal, grinding out lines through plastic and turning an accident into art. Where most films stitched together scenes with painstaking digital trickery, The Mask used restraint. Directors realized Carrey was already outpacing the tech. Every unneeded effect cut saved money and amped up the chaos. It was performance, not pixels, that pushed the movie into legendary territory. Sets, dogs, and musical mishaps where weirdness never stopped. The auto shop where Stanley worked doubled as the original Ghostbusters firehouse, cinematic history under every tire and time card. Meanwhile, Milo the dog, actually Max, a voracious Jack Russell, performed takes motivated by nothing but treats, every trick and leap powered by stashed cookies. No fancy staging needed. Food was the star's secret weapon. The iconic Cuban Pete dance. Carrey couldn't hear the music over the chaos. The club was pure noise. He performed every hip shake by muscle memory alone, syncing with the soundtrack only after the fact. The scene looked spontaneous and perfect because, for Carrey, it essentially was. The unpredictable hit and its pop culture whirlwind. Despite its pedigree, no one, not even the studio, expected The Mask to be a hit. It wasn't a superhero, not really. It wasn't family-friendly, not at first. And it certainly wasn't safe. But audiences flocked to theaters, bringing The Mask to a stunning $351 million worldwide box office. In a world before superhero franchises and CGI universes, a wildcard comedy became the year's surprise event. Carrey became an A-list comet. Diaz went from unknown to icon overnight. Even New Line Cinema, a studio best known for horror flicks, found itself at the epicenter of a new Hollywood gold rush. The film's success spawned countless imitators, but no true equals. Hollywood tried to bottle the lightning, but The Mask proved that genuine creative chaos can't be manufactured, only discovered. Legacy, controversy, and cult status that endures. The battle to define The Mask didn't end with box office receipts. The original comics were decidedly not for kids, but merchandise sure was. Within a year, an animated series spun out, following the zany PG-13 safe antics of a green-faced trickster. Toys, Halloween masks, and school lunchboxes flooded the market. In the end, a promised sequel fizzled. No returning Carrey, no big-screen payoff. The resulting follow-up, years later, failed to recapture the magic. But the legend of green faces, wild dances, impossible effects, and fearless invention became Hollywood folklore. Critical impact and lasting industry influence. Even the industry couldn't look away. The Mask earned an Oscar nomination for its trailblazing effects. Critics who once dismissed Carrey's antics saw with new eyes the skill behind the madness, the pinpoint timing, physical prowess, and genius that transcended mere slapstick. More than a movie, The Mask is a lesson in creative risk. It reminds us that the weird, the wild, and the unexpected can win big when courage and chaos collide. The film proved that audiences hunger for originality, even when it comes wrapped in the strangest possible package. Forever immortalized in cinema history. So cue the jazz band, dust off your wildest suit, and give in to the mayhem. The Mask isn't just a strange product of its decade. It's a timeless celebration of comic energy, big risks, and the joy of laughing at the impossible. In a world that sometimes plays it too safe, let this tale be a reminder. Sometimes all you need is a big green grin, a wild idea, and the courage to spin chaos into gold. The film stands as proof that when talent, timing, and pure creative audacity align, the result can transcend expectations and become something truly magical. A lightning bolt of entertainment that continues to inspire decades after its creation.